Start again. Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. I want to start by saying, Brakti Hawa, Brakti Hawashai, Brakti Hawa, Brakti Hawashai, Brakti Hawa, Brakti Hawashai, Kahlam La Yahwa, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakodash, and also the honor to the apostles, the elder bishops, and the elders, grand millstone who rule well, and also shalom, sincere Akim pushing truth in the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakodash. Back again with a lesson, and I had said, when I was in the street today, I had said, to myself that I would do this lesson right here just to show, brothers, what's going on over there, out in the land of Ham, known as Africa today. There's uproars of people happening over there right now, and just to show you, man, the Heavenly Father is definitely causing chaos worldwide, and this year gotta be it. Like these signs have to lead, to the return. I'm not even gonna say to the return of Yahushua, but these signs are gonna lead into the because before Yahushua returns, obviously we know there's certain process that has to be fulfilled. So I'm not gonna jump all the way there. So then so definitely this year, this things happening worldwide. These are the. Hold on, let me get that preset. The beginning of sorrows. Okay. All right, real quick. Matthew chapter 24 and verse I'm gonna read verse 7 in the AMP. For nation rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there will be famines and earthquakes in the various places. But all these things are merely the beginning of birth pangs of the intolerable and anguish and the time of unprecedented trouble. So these things are we see happening. These are the beginning of Jacob trouble. Okay, let's go from there and jump down to verse 12. It says, and because iniquity shall bound, the love of many shall wax cold. All right, in the AMP, because lawlessness is increased, the love of most people will go cold, and that's what's happening in these countries right here. Kenya and also Central Africa. So what I'm gonna do before I play that video, let me go here to the book of Matthew 24 and verse 21 in the AMP. It says, for at that time, there will be a great tribulation, pressure, distress, oppression, such as has no occurred since the beginning of the world until now, nor ever will again. And that's going into Jacob trouble. That's going to be, how Jacob trouble is going to be. It's going to be a trouble like I've never seen before. And these signs are leading towards that. Verse 22 in the MPS, where if those days of tribulation had not been cut short, basically, even from now, the time we're in right now, this is not about fucking trouble. This is terrible, man. So the days have to be cut short. If those days of tribulation had not been cut short, no human life will be saved. But for the sake of the elect, God's chosen ones, those days will be shown. So we know for sure the time for Esau is being cut short. All right, for him to rule, meaning the days are being cut short. All right, when Jacob trouble gets here, it's not gonna be that. It's not gonna be 6, 8 months, a year, a whole year in Jacob trouble, man. Okay, it's gonna be everything's just gonna happen quickly, man. Okay, because when you read a book of what chapter is down? I think in Revelation 18, where it goes into the plagues gonna hit America, Babylon, and it's gonna feel like here one day. So basically, those plagues are gonna be coming one after another. Okay. So let's go from there. 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. We are in those last days, in the AMP. But understand this, that in the last days, dangerous times of great stress and trouble will come. Difficult days that will be hard to bear. This is what we are going into, man. We measuring the time diligently, so we know for sure what's going on. And now, Play.
African Republic is to observe 3 days.
Hundreds took to the streets as violent clashes broke out between protesters and security forces in the West African nation of Togo. The skirmishes come amidst rising dissent among citizens over president's recent amendments to the constitution that would keep him in power indefinitely. Now, plumes of black smoke.
So this is in protests in Togo, right? And then damn, that's I can't remember when is last time I had anything happening over there in Togo. Last time I heard about Togo was back in 2004 or 3 or 2. You know, during a World Cup, soccer World Cup. You know, I think Togo was really doing well. That's the last time I heard about anything in Togo. But now look what's going on over there.
Billowing above the streets of the country's capital, Lome, as angry protesters burned tires and furniture used for makeshift barricades. Shops and businesses also remained closed as protesters blocked the main roads in Lome. The capital came under heavy police protection as angry protesters hurled projectiles at law enforcement officers. Further, citizens have called for the president to step down.
See, people ain't fucking with their leaders, man.
All we want is for Farouk Gnassingbé to step down. We'll keep protesting even after the 3 days until he finally leaves power.
The protests have been called by a coalition of political groups called Hands Off My Constitution that called for unprecedented peaceful demonstrations and release of political prisoners following the government's crackdown on protests earlier this month. Now, the president has ruled the West African nation since 2005 following the death of his father. In May this year, he was sworn in as the president of the Council of Ministers, making him eligible to be re-elected by the parliament indefinitely with no official term limits. The opposition parties have called the latest decision as a constitutional coup. And there is more on this from our correspondent Louisa Ulani, who has sent us this report.
Clashes erupted Thursday between protesters and security forces in Togo. Like their counterparts in Kenya, hundreds of Togolese took to the streets demanding the resignation of President Farouk Gnassingbé, whose family has ruled for nearly 6 decades. The protests, sparked by controversial constitutional changes that could extend Gnassingbé's group on power, saw demonstrators burning tires and setting up barricades. Police were...
So that's so that was in Togo. Now this one here is in Kenya. Where's the IUIC? Where they at? Where's Nathaniel? Why don't you go over there and calm down this chaos over there, man? Go teach the Most High and Christ bless over there. Maybe they might listen to you, General General Nathaniel.
Our top focus today remains on Kenya. The East African nation is in the grip of violence as anti-government protests turn deadly once again. Yesterday, thousands of Kenyans took to the streets. They were marking 1 year since the deadliest day of last year's protests, when at least 19 people were killed. This was the same day when Kenyans invaded parliament. But what was meant to be a memorial turned into a tragic chapter. At least 16 people have reportedly been killed after clashes broke out between protesters and the police. According to Amnesty Kenya, most of the victims were killed by police as they were shot dead. Visuals from the scene show chaotic standoffs, police firing rubber bullets, live ammunition, and using water cannons. At least 400 people were reportedly injured, including protesters, police officers, and journalists. At least 61 people have been arrested.
Enough is enough. This is a nation. This is not a forest. Enough is enough, Kenya.
We are here for justice.
We are here for change. It's time for us to get our nation. The blood that we
are... Everyone is looking for peace. All these nations looking for peace. New change in governments and all that, Trump is going to be the man speaking up to it, all right. I mean, it's like a fuck Trump. Okay, it's the elite. Okay, they about to really, cause chaos, man. And I knew, the research is coming in to where, these people are going to be taking it in a great number, man. And, they're going to be deceived and they're going to follow, whatever is going to be brought forth, because what's going to be brought forth to them is going to be made seem like this is it. This is peace. Okay, this is peace right here. So, boom, Anyway, 2nd Ezra chapter 5 verse 1. Nevertheless, as coming the tokens, talking about the prophecies, behold, the days shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. Basically, what's going to happen is, there's a prophet known as Jacob trouble, and a lot of people are going to be taken in that trouble, because none of them really paid attention to the prophets, or they just never believed. Okay, the ones who received the truth and never received it. Okay, this is, and they're gonna be taking that great number. All right, especially in America, man. And when you read Isaiah 66 and verse 15, 16, okay, it says, and the way of the truth shall be hidden. And the truth, is about to be, taken away off all platforms, even off the streets. And the land shall be barren on faith. Okay, and then from there, this truth just won't be out there no more, man. People going trying to search for it, trying to figure out what the fuck is going on, but there won't be no answers there, man, for you people. It's like, let me jump down as well just to show you. Verse 9, and salt water should be found and sweet, and all friends should destroy one another, you see, which is already happening in the same country. Then shall wit hide itself. Wit is going into his knowledge, and understanding withdraw itself into his secret chamber, man. The Heavenly Father is going to completely take away this truth, all right? If you haven't got it, you don't got it. And the ones who are going to receive in those days, they're going to get it. And shall be sought of many, and yet not be found. People are going to be looking for the truth and prophets, but not be found. Then shall unrighteousness and incontinence be multiplied upon earth, like I read before, Matthew 24 and verse 12. Because iniquity shall bound, the love of many shall wax cold. Verse 11, one land also shall ask another, and say, is righteousness that maketh a man righteous gone through thee? And it shall say, no. Have you seen a man? Have you heard the truth? And people going to be saying, no. We have not seen, we have not heard. Even ourselves, we're looking for it. We're seeking for those men. We're seeking for the truth, to get the proper understanding of what's going on right now. It says, verse 12, at that same time shall man hope, but nothing obtain, man. You're going to hope for some, but there's nothing to obtain. They shall labor, but their ways shall not prosper, man. This is why it's important right now to get this knowledge, man, what you can. Okay, let's come here. 2nd Ezra chapter 8 and verse 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in a latter time shall dwell in the world, you see, because they have walked in the great pride, man. Many great miseries going to be done unto them that dwell upon earth, because they have walked in the great pride. Okay, more evils is going to happen to you people. 2nd Ezra chapter 15 in verse 5. Behold, except the Lord, I'll bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. And that's what the Heavenly Father Yahweh Hashem Yeshua is bringing worldwide. All right. 2nd Ezra chapter 16. I'm just hitting a few points. In verse 37. Behold, the plagues drew nigh, and on slack, as when a woman with child in the ninth month bring forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth great or pains come past her womb, which pains when the child come forth, it's like no moment. Even so shall know the plagues be start to come upon the earth, and the war shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. That's what's gonna happen. Believe it or not,
The Central African Republic is to observe 3 days of
one,
national mourning after 29 students were killed in a stampede inside of their school in the capital city of Bangui after a transformer's explosion. The disaster unfolded during national exams that were being held in Barthelemy in the Bugonda High School in Bangui. An explosion from an electrical transformer on the school premises triggered panic amongst thousands of students.
A 3-day period of national mourning will be declared throughout the country in tribute to the victims of this tragedy, which has affected the entire national community.
The victims were rushed to medical centers across the capital, with some being transported on motorcycles.
Yeah, man. Hey, look, let me get this preset right here. So this is a lot going on, man, you know? And this is our job to report these things. As if in 3 and 5, just Yahweh is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning that he brings judgment to, like, he faileth not, but then just no shame, you know? So the every Father Yahweh Shimsha is steady, bring judgment, death, destruction upon the earth. But they are just not, you know, but they're unjust, they're wicked. They don't know nothing. They don't want to repent. They don't know what the fuck is going on. They want to get right. So what does that mean? The Heavenly Father is going to keep bringing judgment until the ultimate final judgment, okay? And our last precept is going to be 2nd Ezra chapter 9. And I'm going to have to get in this version. It's like here. All right, I'll get this in this version right here. Here. 2nd Ezra 9 and 1 in GMBDC, which is like GNLT. He answered, consider all these things very carefully. When you see that some of the signs I have told you have appeared, you will know that the time has come when the God, Most High Yahweh Bashem, shall bring judgment on the world he has created. There will be earthquakes, national rebellions. We've seen that in Togo and Kenya. That was happening in America. I don't know what the fuck is going on in protests. You know? International intrigues, unstable leaders. You see that happening worldwide. Confused rulers. When you see these things happening, you will know that they are what the God Yahweh Hashem shall have spoken about since the beginning of creation, and we are the ones reporting these things, man. So the beginning and the end of everything here that happens in this world are clear. There you have it. Okay, so hey, we are at the end, and like I said, I'll do a quick lesson and just to show you brothers out there, sisters out there, you know, when I said I would do a lesson just to show you. Hey, this is what's happening worldwide, man. And then another thing that got me is this right here. Okay, let me just fucking find it.
A hard slap to America's face. Those are the words of Iran's supreme leader, breaking his silence to declare the United States has gained nothing from strikes on nuclear sites. Today, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu opening the door to further
defiance was resounding in Washington that time.
The Ayatollah's video, and when you have a totalitarian regime, you have to save.
First this morning, a teenage boy has been charged with murdering a 58-year-old man after a horror house party in Brisbane's inner north overnight. Hataya Gripsky has the details.
Tell me that we're not living in the last days. That's Matthew 24 verse 12. Because iniquity shall bound, the love of man shall wax cold. You know, second Timothy chapter 3. Read downwards, man. You know, it's crazy, man. You really gotta watch your back in these days. And you know, I can't even say watch your back. You gotta be prayed up. You gotta pray, man, because you don't know what the fuck is going on, man. You go to the store, you see a motherfucker stealing. You go to the gas station, you see niggas stealing. Over here in Australia, you see these fucking junkies in store stealing. Looking at you like, yeah, you know, like crazy. This has happened to me twice, man, in less than 24 hours. Last night, you know, I wanted to get some, I want to get a wine. You know, I was, drive to the store. I jump in, I go in, and, you know, it was quiet inside the store. and there's two crackhead, a woman and a man, came from the freezer room, and the dude was sweating. And I'm like, how the fuck you come from a freezer room? Mind you, in the winter time, it's fucking cold here. These two comes out of the fucking freezer, Akim. He's fucking sweating, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with him? And he's looking at me like, and like, he had demons in him. He's looking at me. I'm like, why that nigga looking at me like that? Anyway, I just mind my business, just kept, because I already know how Australia's like. So mind my business, kept, looking for what I was looking for. And then these motherfuckers went to the counter and told the lady, we couldn't find what we were looking for in his freezer. Can you go back in the back freezer and get his drinks, And the lady went back in the freezer. The chick, the crackhead chick, stayed at the counter. The dude walked around to the bottles, the spirits. He grabbed the fucking bourbon whiskey and put it under his arm with a jumper on and walked out. And the lady came out. She's like, I can't serve you. I can't serve you, man. I can't serve you. He just start from here. I can't serve you. And the crack chick's like, oh, really? He did? Bitch, you already knew. The plan was already made, you fucking idiot. So, I was just like standing there. I'm like, God, Lee, what the fuck? And so nigga took the bottle. The chick was like, oh, I'm gonna tell him to return it. Oh my gosh, I'm so... Nah, bitch, you were part of it. Yeah. And then today, gas station, I wasn't going to preach. This dude was in the gas station grabbing things, put him down, looking at the counter. And I was like, oh, here we go again. Another fucking, like, what the fuck is going on? People can't afford shit no more. They're just stealing, man. And if you approach these motherfuckers, they'll probably beat kill you. Fucking, that's what's happening in Australia right now, man. Okay? So, yeah.
Well, there were dozens of teenagers partying at this multi-million-dollar Clayfield home around 8 last night when a 58-year-old man was stabbed to death. The house party then turning into a chaotic crime scene. Several police and paramedic crews were called to the house, with a number of those teenagers brought back to a police station to have their parents called. Neighbours telling us they saw those kids spilling out onto the street as this unthinkable tragedy was unfolding.
Well, I popped out to drop the bin out, saw a bunch of kids sort of coming up around the corner, congregated in the driveway down there. Just assumed.
Let me get a preacher here. 2nd Ezra chapter 5 and verse just bear with me. Verse 8, there shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be often saying now again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters, man. That's we seen, this menstruous woman bring forth monsters. These teens, man, this Gen Z kids, they on some fucking demon time, man. They will kill you, man. Okay? They'll fucking kill you, man. If they get in the car, they'll run you over. If they got a weapon, they'll fucking use it. They don't think twice. Scared, full of fear. It's just terrible, man. We in some fucking crazy, terrible times, man. I'm telling you.
It was a kids' party, end of the semester or something. Shocking. It's just unbelievable.
Detectives then locating a 15-year-old boy in a nearby street. He was arrested and it's alleged he was known to the victim. He's since been charged with murder. Here's what police had to say a short time ago.
We can confirm that he is deceased as a result of what appears to be a stab wound. While at the address, police located a 15-year-old boy nearby the house. That boy was taken into custody by police and has now been charged with the offence of murder. We take, obviously, any investigation of this nature extremely seriously. It's very early days, and understanding exactly why it's occurred and what's happened is still, the investigation's still underway.
Investigators are right now appealing to anyone with any information at all or CCTV footage to come forward.
Iran's supreme leader says his country delivered a slap to America's face in his first appearance since the war with Israel entered into a ceasefire. Europe correspondent Edward Godfrey is in Israel.
3 days into this ceasefire, and we have now heard from Iran's supreme leader. A video address released of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. His location is unknown. In the address, he claimed victory for Iran in the 12-day war and said his country delivered a severe slap in the face to America and that it crushed Israel. He said Iran could attack American centres in the region again. This is part of his address and a response from White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
I would like to congratulate the great nation of Iran with all those claims that the Zionist regime were making. They almost were crushed under the blows of the Islamic government.
The United States, Israel, the United Nations, and even Iran all agree they can no longer build a nuclear weapon.
The tension is returning to Gaza and there have been heavy bombs.
Anyway, so this is Iran is warning to US. There's a warning going on, and there's a lot going on right now. Okay, so all we can do is just watch and see what happens in the next couple days and weeks, whatever. But just, stay on watching, man. So with that, man,